I was making those mistakes. So when he asked me to do something, I find out how to do things on 80%. I know, then 20% I don't know, but I could know if I do some extra steps on my own. So if I would search in the Google, ask somebody for the help, then I could come to him with 100% confidence about anything. But I was doing this mistake, and I was get back to the office, to the director. I was talking to him and say, hey, I know how to do 80%, 20% I don't know. And all the time he was saying, get the fuck out of here. Do your own research, find the solution, and come to me with the result. Do not come to me when you don't have a solution. If you have a problem, don't come to me, because I will not have any time to solve your problem. You are doing things, you have to do your own research, you have to learn things. If it's something beyond your expertise, search the internet, read, find somebody who can help, find the solution, and then come to me.
All right. Hi, Vlad. Thanks for jumping on podcast with me. I'm excited to have you here today and to see where this conversation takes us. You're one of the first
Hey
guests
there.
on this podcast, so this is a
Pleasure to be
new.
one of them.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks for joining this ride with me. And yeah, let's see where this thing takes us. And I just wanna start off with understanding why you started freelancing and how long you've been doing this.
Well, well, actually, I have no choice. It's actually, I had a choice of being freelancer or being like an office employee. So I had a situation where I was fired from the position that I was on in the office. And while I was working full time, I was trying to do some Upwork stuff. Like I registered my account. I was lucky to get my first few clients pretty fast. So it wasn't a big deal then as it is right now. So I was doing some, some side work on Upwork while still be working on as a full-time employee. Then I was fired from the position, and I was like on the road with two ways. So first way is to keep looking um, for another full-time job, or keep working as a freelancer, maybe like lost some confidence, lost some initial income, but like with the purpose on the future to have more freedom, to earn more, to earn whatever you like. And I decided to take that risk basically, and yeah, and just kept work with the on Upwork basically. That's
Tell
how I started. It was like maybe probably almost 7 years ago. Like I think I was 20. Yeah.
hmm. So you've been
So
freelancing for 7 years.
that's my life. Almost 7 years. Yeah, I would say.
Tell me a little bit more about that transition from your day job to Upwork to freelancing. Why did you wanted to have a side hustle, or like why did you wanted to freelance during your work? Did you feel like, well, I just want to
Uh,
understand.
yeah. It's hard to remember. I definitely remember that I was actually freelancing even before I got a job. I was freelancing like when I was in the university. I was doing some copywriting and this kind of stuff, and I really liked this this situation basically when you can work when you want. So this was looking nice to me. So then when I basically learned some skills and some stuff on my office job, I decided to try to do this as a to get some additional income basically. Not sure how did I find the Upwork. Maybe I I just found it somewhere in the internet, not sure, but I registered my account. It was approved very fast, and I said I got like first few projects very fast. Um, I like that actually the income from Upwork was higher compared to my office job, because on the office job I got like a regular salary, but I had to work like 8 hours a day, 5 days of a week.
Mm-hmm.
In my side hustle was making me half of this salary, but like in 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
So I started to think is probably if I would be working full time, I would make even more than I'm making on the main job. But yeah, I was a bit just scared that you're losing your confidence and security, and this is like a downside of trying to become a freelancer.
Absolutely.
So yeah, and the transition was very fast because I had no choice. Like I was fired from the job and I had to jump in straight away. So, and that's what I did. I jumped in, start looking for more clients, taking more projects, raising my hourly rate, and that's how it happened.
Hmm. Yeah, it's
Not a
interesting
big
that
deal.
you say that, because for me it happened also very, very, very quickly. Very much like you, I early on I was changing from office to freelancing, and I really had no choice there. And I had to, me and my wife, we wanted to go traveling, and we already bought the tickets and everything, but I didn't like really have an income to support me to do the traveling. So the Upwork really escalated very quickly and quite fast. I was able to make almost twice as much as I was making on my day job.
This podcast, whether I mention it or not, is brought to you by Proposally. It's brought to you because first, I created Proposally for freelancers just like you who struggle sending winning proposals on Upwork, and really for everyone else who just wants to send Upwork proposals faster. I collaborated with top-selling expert Upworkers to create a growing library of effective and proven Upwork templates. You can use these templates when you apply for jobs on Upwork. Now you can send proposals your clients will love reading and significantly increase your chances of getting hired. And even better, you can do this in a fraction of time. No more digging into your notepad or searching your computer for your best performing cover letter templates. Proposally is built into Upwork's proposal flow. It fills in the blank cover letter section and also screening questions if there are any during your application process. So it's really super easy and intuitive to use. Second, well, I use this tool every day for my own freelance business and it saves me nearly 6 hours per week. I can use this newfound time to improve my business in other ways or make additional income if I want to. That's what I call effective proposals. Quick warning guys, never ever send cookie cutter proposals on Upwork. When you use our expert templates, always add a level of personalization and fill in all the blanks. You definitely don't want to be a freelancer who sends out canned proposal templates and comes across as someone who didn't read the job description and ultimately annoys your clients. Now if this sounds like a tool you want to use, go to propose.ly/Tom and get 10% off your yearly subscription today.
Well, tell me a bit more about that. Like how when you were doing the day job, right? That requires you to put in a lot of hours. Obviously, there is all sorts of different things you have to get done. Now, at what times did you do the freelancing? Was it later in the night or?
Yeah, it was after the main work. Like as I said, I didn't work like hell. So obviously I just finished my daily job at 6 p.m. Came home, some dinner, and then probably 2.5 hours of freelancing, maybe also in the morning, like early in the morning, another hour. And that's basically it. So I was probably working like 3.5 hours a day maximum.
Hmm.
I would say even two and up to 3 hours a day.
Hmm.
And it wasn't a huge deal for me because yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I love money, and this feeling when you understand that you actually can earn much more that you're earning right now, it was a huge reward for me. So spending another time, another 2-3 hours of work wasn't an issue at all, because the
Absolutely.
compensation for this make it worth.
Yeah, yeah, it's funny that you say that. Absolutely, I can relate to that because for me, money was driving factor. I was like almost treating my early Upwork days as a game, as a challenge for myself, like how much money I
Yep.
can make, like, oh, I have like extra hour there, and like this client, and I can reach this benchmark and that benchmark, and very quickly grew. What about your day job and freelancing? Is this the same industry?
Yes, I was initially hired to create landing pages on visual builders. Then the person who was responsible for the email marketing at that company was fired, and the director decided to put this responsibility on my shoulders as well, because I
Mm-hmm.
was new. They actually didn't want to look for someone else. It was like maybe like 1 or 2 hours a day of work, so the position wasn't that huge. That's why actually the person was fired. So they put it on my shoulders as an addition. And the fact that I liked work on this email marketing stuff more than doing visual builder stuff. So, maybe in 2 or 3 months, we had a conversation with the director and decided actually to put me more into the email marketing things and less building the landing pages stuff. So that's how I did this transition maybe in 2 months from doing a visual builders to email marketing. And I was a student, so it wasn't an issue for me. I just started my career. So I mean, I like this more, and basically you are spending 8 hours of your time every day on something, and if you not enjoy it, then you're doing something wrong, definitely. So I was actually enjoying doing these design things, but as I realized later, I was enjoying email marketing even more. So yeah, that was my transition. And then when I saw that actually on Upwork there are lots of projects and lots of people who are looking for the help with the things that I have experienced, I decided to start, to try, like just to
Mm-hmm.
try it and see where it goes.
All right. What about like, did you take any courses on email marketing? How do you like obviously you said you liked it more than designing landing pages. What was it that kind of caught your eye, or
Um,
what was the interesting part for you?
yeah, when you're building landing pages, you, uh, sorry, you are basically um, like making landing pages, and then you're driving this stuff to anyone else. Oh shit, sorry. Um, and you didn't see any result, like you create it and then somebody else doing the rest of the stuff. But with the email marketing, you're making money for the client, and you did something, or you set up the campaign, you send it out, and you exactly see what's the output of this. You see that like you generated like 10,000 euros in sales for someone, and that's a huge, like a KPI for me and benchmark that my work is actually making money to the people. And actually later on, the experience with the design and landing pages stuff actually helped me to consultate even further my clients. Like when I did some email marketing stuff and did it work, like no sales, then the design things came up and helped me to help customers to do some conversion optimization for their landing pages, so they actually convert when you're sending traffic to them. um, so yeah, that's no courses, as you asked. Yeah, basically, yeah, I probably took some courses, but just to, like, because of the curiosity that they probably will tell me something that I didn't know, but actually they didn't help that much. because when I started, there actually wasn't a lot of really good courses about email marketing. The people was mostly focused on funnels and all these things. So I would say that I'm self-educated, I would say.
Okay. Well, it's interesting that you mentioned KPIs, and for people who might know, that's like key performance indicator, right? It's basically letting people know how good was your work, right? Or that's how you can measure
Yeah.
success. One of the ways you measure success. Uh, on Upwork, I found that that's especially true. If you have a niche where your work is generating results for someone else, you're in a sweet spot, right? Then that's when you can start charging bigger, higher hourly rates, getting more quality clients with bigger budgets and things like that. You're kind of shifting from the person who does the work, right, to someone who offers the value, adds value to your project or your business, and that is a very important thing for people to kind of understand. And it was definitely a game changer for me as well when I realized that, like, why do I do these small things? Why do I do banners and simple video edits and things like that? I can focus on something, or I can position myself somewhere where I can making someone else money. And obviously, if my work is making someone money, then they're more likely to hire me.
Pay you more. Yeah.
Yeah, pay you more and hire you.
This the same thing happens when you're trying to take a project. Like first, when you just start and you actually don't have that much of variety of projects, you need to take not every project. I mean, obviously you don't want to have a shitty clients, but you know every freelancer starts with something small, some small help, or just a part of the project, and that's what I did as well. But I figured out that I actually like more when I'm starting with the company from the scratch. So it's a online store launched, and they need basically a setup. That's what I actually like start from the scratch, set up everything properly, and then clients see that this stuff actually makes money and we improving. That's makes me feel happy that the a part of my work actually helped to kick off the project. And another one is like when you have lots of experience and reviews, big companies trying to hire you as well, and you're most likely have a chance to be in the big project. Like I had an experience working with the big company when you are sending an email and it can easily make like 50,000 in sales, and this makes me like feel a bit happy, I would say.
Hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely. But like the thing is, not everybody gets these big clients straight away, right? I remember I was
Yeah, it
starting
took
off
time.
with, it took time, and you start
I
with
mean, it's
small
like in the
clients.
gym, you can't gain muscle like in 3 or 4 days, or lose fat. It takes time, it takes energy.
Mm,
In the gym you had to put a lot of hard work. In the career you had to put your time, you had to learn, you had to improve your skills to become better professional, gain more experience, and actually teach yourself not just to do the interesting thing with the freelancing is you not only have to be an expert in your field, like video editing or email marketing in my case, but you also have to be a good salesman, because you need to sell your services to someone else. And a part of this, yeah, can be your great experience. But honestly, I was speaking with my usually when I have a client or we are finishing a project, or even just when we start in the project, I like to have like not business conversations. So if we have 3 5 minutes, I'm always trying to get customer to discuss something, something from their life with me. And I was actually asking them how they are looking for the freelancers, what they are trying to pay attention for when they're doing that.
hmm
And I was asking, like, when somebody tells you that they have 70 years of experience, does it really matter for you?
hmm
And most of them said no. I
hmm
need to see what you did. If you did it in 2 years, good for you. If you did it the same thing but in 6 years that it's bad for you.
Oh, that's interesting. So what made you ask those questions? What were you trying to do? What you were trying to achieve?
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to actually to achieve when I realized that my email marketing skills on a decent level, and obviously you always have to learn, like it's never going to stop. But when I realized that, yeah, okay, I can do my job on a decent level. Now, how can I sell myself to a bigger project, to a bigger client?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, when I just started, my English was pretty poor. I was trying to start talking to clients from the scratch. I know that some people trying to get projects just writing and they're doing great. I was trying to speak and was trying to get clients on the phone call and
Mm-hmm.
then to sell them.
Mm-hmm.
And when I improved my English with maybe 2 years, it becomes much easier to sell myself, because when you
Absolutely.
can talk and when you are not nervous on the call, you feel confident, you know what you're talking about. You can share your screen, show something, show a dashboard where it shows that you did XYZ. It makes X amount of things. It's much easier to sell
Mm-hmm.
yourself.
Sure thing. I kind of want to understand a little bit more. Obviously, as you said, every single freelancer reaches a level where your skills are very good, right? But then some people they kind of tend to stuck there, and I found that this is like a breaking point. When you said, "Hey, I realize my skills are very good, but I have to start selling myself." And I guess what's interesting to me is like, from where did that driving motivator came from? Um, did you feel that you were like stuck at the certain hourly rate, or you're working with the certain budgets, or what was that hey, I kind of want to go to this next level? Well,
Yeah, so what I would do, or what I did actually, is when I feel that I'm stuck, I'm working with the tool and I know 100% of the tool functionality and how to use it to make money. So if you feel that it's it's really hard to over overskill yourself, I would say you need to, at least in my opinion, you need to think on two possible ways. So first way, do you have any um, related parts in the project? Let's say email marketing is really close to any other marketing in the company. So let's say website conversion optimization. So your work depends on how good landing page converts, and you can learn the conversion optimization as an addition to your main profession to make you even more successful on the projects. So basically, you set up really good email campaign, and you consultate your customer or their development team how to actually optimize the landing page. So then the traffic that you're going to send on the landing page will convert more, and you will make more money for the client, and client will be more happy. So this can be like an option for any freelancer, just to have to learn some uh, relative or side profession or skill, not on the advanced level, but at least like on the middle level, to get some expertise and start doing some consultation. And this should, and at least in my opinion, in my career, it's improved my work, because yeah, as I said, is if I saw that the landing page suck, like I was trying to explain to the customer that they need to improve it and how to improve it, what should be done, and customers was really appreciating that,
mhm.
makes those changes, and it as a result, um, any freelancer can be even more experienced and even more wanted by to keep this freelancer on a long-term position or whatever. This is one way. And the second way, when you feel that you reach that, like top of the roof. So basically, you are on the top freelancer on Upwork. Your hourly rate can't be higher because you're already on the top line, or you feel that when you're increasing it even more, it's much harder to find clients that are okay to pay that. You can actually, what you can do, it's just to start your own small agency, because if you can support yourself, if you can fulfill your full-time job as a freelancer, and you're doing great job, you're selling your services and skills very good, what you can do is you can find someone who is a beginner or intermediate in the same field that you are, and basically just invite him in your small team and start looking again, not stop looking for the customers, but find some maybe middle projects and do this project with the team member that you just found. And by doing that, it is possible actually to build a small to build a small agency and start making even more money.
Yeah, no, that's true. I've done that myself as well. There was a period when I was just working with too many clients at the same time, and I realized, oh man, there is like a lot of the work that I'm doing is actually the busy work, right? Like we
Yeah.
discussed about strategies and adding value to the business. That's one thing, and that's actually something someone pays you the big bucks for, right? But then there is a lot of work, at
Yeah.
least in my niche, which is like UI UX design. There's a lot of busy work, designing the buttons and layouts and things like that, where you don't necessarily need such a high experience level, for example. And I realized, like, look, let me identify what are the busy work in my industry and just get an assistant, like a junior or midway designer that works with me, and I'm focusing on the strategies, on the layouts, on the bigger pictures, and like the overall strategy, and then working with someone that was doing basically together with me the busy work. And that's how I was able to manage, to secure more clients, work with more clients at the same time, and grow my revenue. Yeah, that
Yeah, that's
definitely that
exactly what I was talking about. And I
like a
did
mini
this.
agency.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, I would say I'm not stuck, but I stayed on this stage when I don't have an agency, but I'm handling more important things like communication with the client, some strategy stuff, probably some implementation things if it's too important. But if it's something that is more routine, or is just repeating over and over again, it's more productive to find someone else, even teach someone else,
Hmm.
and yeah, and work together. And as you said, by doing that, you can handle more clients, you can take more projects, and that's basically leads to higher revenue. Yeah, you have to pay for the for this assistant as well, but the difference between your hourly rate and probably and most likely your assistant will be different, and this margin can be your additional income that you can earn, not passively but semi-passively.
Absolutely, yeah, and I like that model a lot. And I kind of tried agency with more people, and then at least for my lifestyle or what I was looking for, it was a little too stressful. Like the medium where
Yep.
you have one or two people helping you, it was just a sweet spot because I found myself at the point where it's like, oh man, it's like I'm not even doing that much work during the day, right? Like almost felt like I was cheating, but essentially I was, doing the heavy lifting. I took the project on, I was speaking with the clients, built all the strategy, make sure that the people that's helping me, they know what to do, and I was reviewing all the work, giving the feedback, communicating with the clients. But it definitely it definitely is in a nice transition how to go from being a freelancer to going to a full scale agency and just outsourcing people. Like, look,
Yeah.
I have one question for you. No, go on. Maybe you wanna something to add.
Just to finish this part of our conversations, that I actually was thinking about, like create like a real agency, like not just me and assistant, like probably like at least 10 people.
Mm-hmm.
And I joined one big marketing agency for 1 month just to understand how these machines work.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't, you can start your agency, but you will probably make lots of mistakes, and these mistakes will lead to not satisfied customers or some disorganization in the team and so on. So I joined on the position of a lead client manager.
Mm-hmm.
So when you basically on this position, I had like 10 people under my control just to try myself, to test myself. And this was really hard. Like, this wasn't that easy because you had, to coordinate 10 people and speak to probably 15 and up to 20 clients, coordinate all of that is really hard. And the only one way for basically for this machine to work as it should, to get even more people, like try to push yourself out of the control, put yourself probably on the sale position of your agency to be a salesman, then have a project manager. And to find a good project manager is not an easy job, and they also cost a lot. So I basically decided that I will be able to get to that level only when I will be able to close really high-end client that can pay lots of money, so I can cover myself, project management, and all other expenses, because it's this really hard to do on Upwork. Because on Upwork you actually can find a good customers that can pay lots of money, but not that much. Most of them just looking for a quick job, like for a quick help, or looking for someone else, for the person who will work. Because well, from what I saw, small and middle level companies, they don't prefer to work with agencies. They prefer to work with individuals who can do what they want. So yeah, that's where I'm stuck. Well, I would not say stuck, but I'm saying that I'm staying on this level, at least for now. And yeah, when I will feel more comfortable, then probably I can jump even higher.
Yeah, no, that's good. My at least my mentality and my approach to freelancing is like you have to have fun, right? You have to know while you're doing this. Obviously, the money you can make as much money as you want. It's just the matter is like what are the things that you want to sacrifice in your lifestyle, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened when I started managing those 10 people and
Mm-hmm.
12 clients. It stopped being fun for me.
Mm-hmm.
It started being more like a job,
Mm-hmm.
which I actually do not like. So the reason why I'm still working as a freelancer, because I like my job. I like what I'm doing. Like, I'm not doing something just to make money. I'm doing what I like and makes money in the same time. And that's the key point of my happiness. Because yeah, like first of when I just started freelance career, I was chasing money. Then I started traveling and starting to realize the real advantage of being freelancer. Because like hell, I can we I and my girlfriend, we had one situation probably 3 or 4 years ago, where I was checking the airlines ticket just in
Mm-hmm.
case, just was browsing. I didn't want to go anywhere, and I found really nice tickets to the Greece, but the departure day was the day after tomorrow. So it's like you have to basically pack your clothes and move out. And yeah, I just purchased those tickets and we had a great holiday. and who can do this, who works in the office, or even if you are working from home, like remote freelance, but if you have tons of responsibility on your shoulders, you just can't pull you back off this process on more than 1 or 2 days, because if you're out, then everything just going down.
Absolutely, and that's a real beauty. Look, that to me, what you just described, it's a real definition of freedom in life, right? When you can
Yeah.
make decisions and you're free to go, you're not tied up to a one place. You can move as you want, right? No one is. You're just responsible for your own work and continuously delivering the good results, and everything else is you can design your life as one. And really, to me, this is worth more than being a millionaire or whatever, because you can't really put any price on this, right? At least the way I
Yeah.
had thought of this, that you could give me like a lot of money or like all money in the world, I would never ever sacrifice this piece of freedom or being able to make my own decisions and being just free to go wherever I want, wherever now, whenever I want. That is important. Look, so I'm sure a lot of people listening to this, they kind of want to understand it. Yeah, but how did he like what is he doing to get those clients on Upwork? What's his process? Like, how is he sending proposals? Can you take through your approach to like daily practical tasks on what it is that you're doing on Upwork, how you're finding clients and how you're choosing what proposals to send to what clients and things like that. What people you're targeting, and
Mhm.
let's see where that takes us.
To be honest, I didn't look for any job probably for 6 months. And to be honest, I didn't look for the new clients actively for the last 2 years.
Hmm. How did you get
The
here?
advantage of my profession that it is evergreen,
Hmm.
so you can't, it's not the one. I mean, there are some one-time projects, but if you are targeting right customers, it's more evergreen, because create um, some stock of automated emails and have this as a fixed price one-time project and then move on. This another thing, but I'm was trying to target more clients that a bit larger or bigger, and they also need constant support, like creating a newsletters, have somebody who have enough creativity and strategic thinking to move this to the next level, improve existing setup, make adjustments. So that's that's what actually uh, made me to find a few projects that are really long term, like 3 years and more, and I can easily keep myself busy full time with those projects
Hmm.
and not looking for any other projects.
That's
So
interesting. It requires
yeah,
it it requires an understanding to figure out what are these projects, and the way you
yeah, I mean
described it.
yeah, it's usually middle size, at least middle sized businesses, which are not trying to save additional dollar. Like they just know that this makes profit, and they see that you're worth it, those money, and then they can just work with you for years, like they did with me. And that's the good point. And yeah, and I think, as I said, it's advantage, because I know some professions that are like mostly like a short term, like with the video editing. I have some friends that are doing that. Yeah, some companies needs lots of videos and they can be with you on the long term, but
Mhm.
at least in the experience of that person, it's mostly like one time or two videos, and then they have to look another client, and then they have to look another client and another client. And I would say that it would make me a bit more nervous, because I actually don't like looking for the clients.
Mhm.
Because it makes me a bit uncomfortable that I need to look for one more client, and then it's you're losing a bit of money, because for any reason you lost a project, and now you have to jump in and start rolling this machine again. But what I would do right now is yeah, I would not send tons of proposals to anyone or to everyone. I would just pick was searching for customers that I think is good for me, and I would try to make my proposals as personalized as possible. I would never recommend to copy paste proposals and make, have them the same. Just copy paste, send, copy paste, send, copy paste, send, and hoping that somebody will actually reply. This is not
Absolutely.
gonna
Yeah.
it's not gonna work. I mean, it can work for someone who is looking for an entry, projects, but if you're looking for some, upper intermediate or advanced projects, it's never going to work, and you have to be more creative. So I actually like to record the videos. I don't like to send tons of text. So what I'm usually doing is I see the project. If I can find it in the internet, that's great. I can do some analytics, and then I'm just recording a Loom video, 5 minutes of my time, explaining the strategy that I did for similar project, sharing some results that was generated, and then just a few lines of introduction, pasting the Loom link, and pasting as well my calendar link, or asking when is this suitable for customer to discuss the next steps, and that's it. So I'm trying to be more confident and trying to position myself in a situation when I think that I am already hired.
Mm.
Just trying to be more confident that actually they will pick me. So I'm
Mm.
not trying to. If you're interested, please send me an answer, or anything like that. I'm trying to be more, more confident. Like, hey, let's discuss.
Yeah.
Do you have free time in 10 minutes? If the customer is online, something like that. And usually my reply rate is pretty high when I'm doing such things. And then a good client always prefer to have a call, and then if I get them on a call, that's like a win-win for me, because if I can get them on a call, then 70% that I can sell them if our price expectation are the same. Because usually if I didn't close the client on the call, there are only two reasons. First, and this is usually most common reason, is my price expectation and their budget is not suitable for each other, or the second one, that they found someone else that has the same experience but requested less hourly rate. So that's basically two reasons when customer is considering not working with me. I never heard like we had a conversation with five other freelancers, and just you looks like a not suitable person for us.
Yeah, I like what you're saying, and I can completely agree. To me, Upwork is a funnel system, right? We're sending proposals. That's top of the funnel.
Yeah.
The middle of the funnel is doing the quick chats, right? Getting people on the call, and then the bottom of the funnel is the call. That's where the sale happens. And as you said, like if people went through the trouble of selecting the freelancer, having a quick chat, scheduling the call, and then jumping on the call, it's likely that there are no 100 other people that they're doing these calls
Yeah.
from, right? So
Why
it
they
just
have to
makes so
spend
much
their
sense.
time looking for someone else if they already saw and think that this guy is most likely suitable? And what I saw in our 30 minutes conversation is that he had an experience, that's for sure. He know what he's talking about. He sounds confident. He showed me some previous results and I like them. Let's do that.
Boom.
Like
Yeah.
only a big corporate companies, they just can't make this decision to start working with the first person they just talk about the project. So they have to, their HR departments have to have at least several calls with other client, with other freelancers to get the list of them, and then and the result said, yeah, the one that we talked first was actually one of the best, so let's work with him. But they have to to talk to other ones as well. But this is just for the huge companies that
Yeah,
doing their agent stuff like that.
it's just a different decision making process, right? Where like the small and medium businesses decision maker or someone in the lead role is typically there to make the snap decisions, whereas like the bigger companies, the process is longer. I really like what you said about the confidence, and I do want to unpack this because I do believe that this holds a lot of value in being confident in writing proposals and being confident in also doing the client calls, because people do want to work with confident people, right? Like you want to be sure that the person who wrote you the proposal, the tone, it's confident, because if you're paying someone money, especially if you're about to spend a lot of money, you want to be sure that someone knows how to
Yeah.
take you from your current situation to the desired situation, and they know how to fill in the gap, right? You're confident that I'm going to pay this guy, he knows how to deliver results. And like, how did you were you confident early on? Are you like a confident person for life, or is this something you learned throughout the years?
Um, well, I'm confident in the things that I know, basically. If I don't know something, I'm not trying to show myself as I actually know this thing. So I'm not too shy to admit that I don't know everything. Specifically in freelance and my career, I'm confident enough to talk to any client and say that, hey, I actually know what to do. And yeah, like every time I'm sending a proposal, I know that considering the job description that I have in my own research, I'm confident that I can help. Sometimes on the call already, it's happening that actually the job description is not always equal the things that you are discussing on the call. But even then, if it's not something critical, always trying to to be confident. Or if I don't know something, I'm not trying to push this on the client. I can say, all right, I mean, this can put some pressure on our cooperation, but don't worry, I will figure that out. So I'm really fast learning person. So for me, it's not, and that's what I like as well when I'm hiring, because I'm also hiring for sometimes other people. And what I like, so I was on the both sides. So I was on the side of as a freelancer, and I was on the side as a client. So what I like the most, and I think this is one of the most important skill that I learned, and I demand from other freelancers that I'm trying to hire for any project that I have, is um, independency. So I don't want to solve issues or problems when I'm hiring someone. I really don't like when it was at the beginning when I just started to hire some help for my projects. I had lots of people who said, hey, it's actually some issue here. I'm not sure how to solve it. Not sure what to do. Um, and basically they're trying to put this on your shoulders, but you as a client don't even have to think about it. And I really like problem solvers type of
Hmm.
persons. So when I'm working with the client, I'm never going to them with the issues, or if they're just critical and I actually can't solve them. But even then, I'm trying to find those who can solve them. So I'm not going to the client with nothing. Okay.
Hmm.
So if something happened, and if any issue happened, this is not related to my position in the company or in the project, because I'm confident, I know what I'm doing, no issues on my end. But sometimes you have a correlation with other things in the project, and those issues might happen. And again, I'm not trying to get back to the customer and say, hey, we have this issue, we can't move forward until it's fixed, and I don't know how to fix that. That's just unacceptable for me as a person. And yeah, I was working in a big company, and I didn't become like a friend with the CEO, but we become really close to each other. We had lots of informal conversations. We could, had 10 minutes of business discussion, cover everything, and then have like 1 hour just talking about, some ideas and business. And that's this guy, I would say, he like made me shy because he's the one of the first person who said this to me, that, well, like, you are a great expert, you know what you're doing, but the reason why I actually like to work with you is because you are a problem solver. So you never came to me with something that can be solved. So zero stress to the client, I would say.
How do you think this is your kind of personal trait? Is that what type of person you are, or this is something you acquired throughout the years?
Um, I would say I learned this when I was working on my first job that we discussed in the beginning of the call. So I was working in my own city, and by the way, I'm from Ukraine, and we are here in my city, at least. We don't have lots of like English speaking Ukrainians, like at least on some decent level. And like 7 years ago, that's for sure. So I was hired to the company, and the owner of the company was German, or he was from Austria. Yeah, he was from Austria, and he taught me this, not skill, but he taught me this lifestyle. I was making those mistakes. So when he asked me to do something, I find out how to do things on 80%. I know, then 20% I don't know, but I could know if I do some extra steps on my own. So if I would search in the Google, ask somebody for the help, then I could come to him with 100% confidence about anything. But I was doing this mistake, and I was get back to the office, to the director. I was talking to him and say, hey, I know how to do 80%, 20% I don't know. And all the time he was saying, get the fuck out of here, do your own research, find the solution, and come to me with the result. Do not come to me when you don't have a solution. If you have a problem, don't come to me, because I will not have any time to solve your problem. You are doing things. You have to do your own research. You have to learn things. If it's something beyond your expertise, search the internet, read, find somebody who can help, find the solution, and then came to me. And that's the lesson that he teach me. And even considering that he fired me as the result, I'm really grateful for his lessons, because he probably not like he didn't try to make a great specialist for me, but the way he operate, and the way he communicated with me and for other employees as well, teach me how to work with foreign customers. That's, I think, the learning that he teach me long years ago.
That's super valuable. And I think let's talk about this a little bit more. Working with foreign customers. I mean, look, most freelancers do this, right? That's, if you think about it, that's the base of outsourcing, right? Because to some extent, freelancing is outsourcing, right? Because you're not employing people in your office, you're outsourcing it to someone else. Now, in more cases than not, we are actually being employed by someone else outside from our country. Now, this means working with different cultures and foreigners. What are some of the lessons? What do you think? Some of the most interesting findings?
Well, I think it's the question of mentality of the country where you're from, or nationality. Because if I will talk specifically about Ukraine and Ukrainians, like a decent amount of Ukrainians, they want to work stress-free. and as a result, like they're getting, expected salary for their job that they're doing.
Is that like a
If you want,
mental?
but
Just to interrupt
yeah,
you quickly.
I'm not sure if this is I mean, I'm sure that every country have this segment of people. Every country,
Okay.
I know, even in United States, they also have this kind of people that want to work stress free, doing some simple work, make money, and always complain that they're not earning enough.
Mm-hmm.
The issue here is that they don't want to leave their comfortable zone, find a job that put the pressure on you for the first months, 2 months, 3 months, even a year, put the pressure on you, make you stress a bit, make you worry a bit. And then when you pass this momentum, or keep rolling, you just, this work becomes business as usual for you, and you are not stressful anymore. You can handle everything easily, you're making more, and then you're realizing, okay, I took that stress, probably I can took a bit, even more, get more responsibilities on my shoulders, let's say, and go to my boss and say, hey, I want to be department lead and take more responsibilities. So I think, yeah, that's the thing that uh, any freelancer that works with foreign clients, and specific, especially from United States, and for some reason German, because I have lots of projects from Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Those kind of business owners, and especially those who are on middle and higher level businesses,
Mm-hmm.
they're really looking for those kind of people. And again, as I said, they will not try to solve the problem. If they see that you are not that kind of person, they will just say goodbye.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's so true. I have found this so many times in my own career on Upwork as well. It's just that's what people are paying you for, right? Like if you are charging like premium hourly rates and working with clients and big budgets and serious businesses, they don't have time to babysit you. You know, you either step up your game, you know, you're solving the issues and delivering the results, right? Or you just go get a job, right? Where someone else can go and
Yeah,
tell you what to do.
I have a funny fact. I have a funny fact. Um, this is about the company that I was working with, the CEO that we become like a close friends, I would say, or close to friends. When I just started, I was working with another guy who was on the same position as me. So we were supposed to work together as a team, because the company had a lot of online stores, and it wasn't that easy to handle everything by one person. So we also had another specialist, in brackets, because I can't call him specialist. No, not going to point my finger at anyone, but we had a situation. I always had a situation with this guy when we have the same job, and we both joined company very fast, because the person who was on this position moved from the company very fast, and we both had this time to get this onboarding, and it was really stressful, because it was close to the new year, and yeah, it was really hard to get on board. And I was doing the job. I was looking for all things in Asana, tons of documents, tons of onboarding things. And we finished on the situation when all the time something he needs to do, he was getting back to me asking, hey, where I can find text for the email XYZ. And I had to point him to the right document. Hey, do you know where I can find this project in Asana? Because I can find it. And he just should type the name of the project in Asana, and he could find it easily. But instead of doing that, or doing his own research, he was coming back to me asking where he can find this. And as then this CEO told me, he was also getting back to him with these small questions.
Mm.
and SEO of the company really gets mad because he obviously don't have time to solve this kind of level issues, and the contract was discontinued with this guy. And as later on, when we have a discussion, the SEO shared with me the information that the guy that I was working on was charging double more than I am. So his hourly rate was double higher than my hourly rate. And you know, the the output was completely different.
Hmm.
So yeah, and again, like it was like a learning for this man that expensive not always the best, I would say.
Yeah, yeah, I like what you said because the way I see it, you have to, whenever you're charging big rates and you want to keep those big rates, it's only when you can deliver the quality of service people expect at that level, right? Because, I mean, you might get lucky on Upwork, especially, right? You could like put your hourly rates as 100 per hour. Someone might hire you, but they will quickly realize that, hey, man, this guy is not performing at 100 per hour, right? Like
Yep.
I have had people performing better at $30 per hour. So it just means like if you want to raise that level, you have to be confident, but like make sure that you know how to handle yourself at that level. Because the kind of like the way I see the market is if you're charging $10 an hour, 15, 20, you might be attracting people who are just looking for busy work, right? Someone to get the busy work done. Now going upwards, like, medium 50s, 60s, whatever, then you're looking for people who can, it's basically value for money, right? Depending on where you are in the world, but that's value for money. And like 100 and above, then, you already have a money and you're looking for an expert to solve the problems. And like those people who hired those levels, they know exactly what they're looking for, right? And you can't just jump from 10 to 100 and expect people will just you're gonna get like happy clients and if you're performing at 10. So it's just that
Yeah.
that learning curve that happens. um,
Yeah, and again, as I said, like problem solver.
Problem solver,
Like
yeah.
if you can't find something, just try to look a bit more deeper. Try to do something in addition to what you already did. And and only then, if you did whatever it takes and you still didn't find anything, then of course ask for help, because it's normal to asking people for the help, especially if you just joined the project and you're not know everyone, you don't know who is responsible for and so on. But just keeping me busy with this kind of things, it wasn't the right thing. It's another um, um, proof that person who can solve the problems will get more, will be more valuable for any client or for any customer.
Absolutely, 100% agree. And that's really what gives you confidence to raise your rates because you know you can
Yep.
solve the issue, right? And when you know that you're confident in things, that's when you're more confident sending out proposals, more confident doing client calls because you know everything in and out. So a lot of this definitely do comes from the confidence.
Yeah, and I mean, if we are talking about the rates, I actually like I am still in this situation, I think, when I'm selling my time, which I really hate. So I mean, somebody can say to me that, hey guy, you're earning decent amount of money, you can live in the country when you're living and live a good life, travel, what are you complaining about? But again, when you're reaching this top, um, you're beginning to realize that you're still selling your time. And I'm 27. Probably I still can sell my time for another 3 years, but then when you have probably most of the men's on my place would love to have kids and wife and family. They will need more time for that, and you have only 24 hours. Selling 8 hours, or I was actually sometimes working for 12 hours a day, and 70 hours a week to just, sometimes when I have this, passion, I'm just doing that because it's fun. But yeah, like selling your time is not a great thing at the end point.
Hmm.
So I would definitely recommend to every freelancer, when you manage yourself to an expert level, work some time as an expert and then try to sell value and not your time. And I would not say that I'm struggle with this, but I'm still I'm not I didn't do this transition on 100%. I'm still selling your times on 70%, and only 30% of the income basically is the value. And my end point, if I will be not an owner of the big agency, at least I would try to sell a value, not my time.
Yeah, I can relate with that. I can relate with that, and very much like you, I'm still struggling with it. I haven't found the sweet spot where I can say, hey, like this UI app for an app is gonna cost you 100,000, well, because you're gonna be making 100 million with it, right? I definitely
Yeah.
am not at that level. I don't really know how to do that. As you said, I'm not necessarily my idea is I'm always doing fixed price contracts, right? So I'm not really selling hours. So that's how I can make profit. But I definitely do not know how to sell value 100%. I feel like I'm on the way to achieve that, but there is definitely some more steps to take. And it is an interesting transition because when you kind of like realize what is the value of what you're selling, it becomes a very very different business. Mm.
Yep. And yeah, as a result, I'm really want to sell value, and ideally, of course, try to do some. I don't believe in the passive income. However, I believe in sort of the passive income. So when freelancers just starting, they're just making money, saving money. When you already makes money that you can save, now you're trying to understand where to put those money in, because they just to keep them somewhere is even in the bank it's not the way to do. At least in my opinion and in my profession, I mean, I am helping online stores customers makes money. Why not for me to create my own online store and make money for myself as well? Can be as an option for any other freelancer who in a similar situation. And being a store owner is a bit is more value than selling your time for something, because you can scale this business. You know, you can as I said, scale business, spend like 4 hours a day. Scale business, hire somebody like you for the things that you need to cover, and spend 4 hours a day earning the same amount of money working 8 hours a day.
Hmm.
And then scale it. If the business goes well, you can scale it even more. Then you will still work the same 4 hours a day, but you will work triple more, and then 5 times more. And if you pick the right niche, you can just skyrocket this. Like if you are not, for example, you're doing UI design and you are sleeping, and then you have a dream of some great app that is not on the market, and you think that this will bring some value for the users, you can easily create something by your own. Let's say if you are a UI designer, you will create the UI design for your app, then hire the developer, develop the app, hire the marketer, and just make this app successful. And this is going to be your income based on the value and not on the time that you are spending. And not passive, but if it's a subscription model, it's actually even better than just the one-time purchase. Yes,
Yeah, it's a
yeah.
beautiful transitions
I'm thinking a
happening,
lot
right?
about these things.
Me
Yeah.
too, man. Me too, absolutely. And it's like it's such a beautiful transition. First, you start working at the job, right? Someone's employing you. Then you're stepping on your own two legs. You know, you starting to build your independent business. Like, you know, it's a one solopreneurship, right? You build your business to a certain extent where the income allows you to invest and create assets for you. And now when
Yep.
you're creating assets for you, you're actually, you know, becoming a entrepreneur, right? You're building
Yeah.
business and hiring other people, and it's just that's a beautiful thing that freelancing allows you to do. And what I love is, and I also think that there's every single industry across all the freelancing niches have this ability to do so. You just have to know your niche very well to create something for your clients or for other people, whether it's in like email marketing space or it's in like creating websites, e-commerce stores, or creating little small apps. There's always something, and especially in this technology period, right? You go on Upwork, you hire people, you know, they build a product for you that you can start selling as an asset and transitioning out of selling time and actually running a business. And that is a beautiful
Yeah.
transition. I do believe a
And
lot of people want that, and that's their dream.
yeah, and I think that's a good advantage of being freelancer, that you will learn multiple sides of the work. Like you will be an employee for yourself, you will be a SEO for yourself, you will be a salesman, you will be accounting person, let's say.
Hmm.
You will be project manager for yourself. So just ask to create a business, a full-time office employee who, let's say, doing design, UI design. He's working, this person has 10 years of experience doing UI UX design, hundreds of projects, hundreds of apps, and compare and ask another person to create a business who did the same 10 years of the experience working on the UI and UX design, but being a freelancer. This is going to be completely two different persons. And I can guarantee, I can bet all money in Vegas then that the person who worked as a freelancer those 10 years will most likely to succeed making a business than the person who was working 10 years as a full-time employee in a company.
Absolutely, absolutely agree. Because really, if you think about being a good freelancer is businessman in making, right?
Yep.
You're actually putting all the necessary pillars and the knowledge, and you're educating yourself to one day take that leap and actually become, become an entrepreneur on yourself. You're right, because we do all the things. We're doing accounting, we're doing project management, we're doing sales, we're doing the work. You know, all of these things you have to do, and that's what always tell to people. Hey, you know, when you decided to become a freelancer, you decided to play by the business rules. This is no longer your 9 to 5 job, right? No one is taking responsibility for you, man. Like
Yep.
you either do it or you don't do it. Like this is it kind of is a mini entrepreneur, solopreneur, right? Like you have to freelance is a business. You have to run your business.
Do or die.
Yeah, do or die, right? There's really like, I mean, it's just what if you learn all of these things that you have to like selling yourself, um, being good at your work, right? Project management, confidence, and language skills, right? And independence, being able to handle projects. Those are like the main things that really anyone need. And if you keep working at them, you can definitely be successful. I
Yep.
love it. I love our conversation so far. What do you think? Like, if someone would ask you, "Hey, lad, I'm just starting out, man. Like, I really need some help here. What are some of the pieces of advice you would give someone to from your years of learning and experience on Upwork, especially?
Yep. First, the most important, be a problem solver person type. I think this is one of the most important. Second, teach yourself to become a self-education person. Don't think or try to um, don't try to get someone who will really teach you how to do things, because it's much easier. It's a beneficial for the future if you will teach yourself how to do things. And right now, when I started, there was not that much of educational materials, at least in my niche. But right now there are tons of things like online courses, books, whatever. Always learn, always teach yourself. And if we are talking specifically about freelancing and Upwork, uh, I would go the easy way. Um, Everything starts with your profile, and to get clients, you need to set up your profile properly. And you will never set up it properly from when you're just starting. So what you can do, don't reinvent the wheel. Find someone top in your niche, look at his profile, uh, copy the text, rewrite it, and publish it on your page. Because if this guy managed to get from $10 an hour to $100 an hour with the profile that he already have, he knows something. And you can save lots of time by just stealing this. And it's not a bad thing. Everyone's stealing ideas. Like, otherwise there was no competition.
Absolutely.
So somebody created an app, somebody said, yeah, this app actually look good, I can add some small feature into it and make my own app. And they steal the idea and just make it their own. So do the same for the profile. Just look how the experts doing the business on Upwork, and try to look like them. So this is about the profile. And then the second thing is try, getting your first few projects is really hard. Like when I started like 6 years ago, it was a bit easier. Right now it's even harder. So what I would do, and again, I'm not saying that this is a bad thing. Find someone, probably look for your friends. Maybe they need something that you can, do for them. Uh, or probably if you're leaving your, if you're leaving your full-time job, and you have you have a good relationship with your boss, just ask him to give you an extra project, but outside the company. Just ask him to create a profile on Upwork, and just make this project through Upwork. Or ask friend to give you some task and make this project for your friend, and just get this few feedbacks, good reels, good real reviews. Yeah, it's. I would not say that this is not fair way. Not fair way is just say, hey man, let's just set up the project, push it to me in 2 days. You will pay me, I will pay you back by cash when we will meet each other drinking beer. But yeah, just make this project for friend or for family, for the boss. Get this easy reviews, easy first 2-3 projects, and then start actively looking for the projects. And when I'm saying actively, I'm saying you have to update your job tab on Upwork every 20 or minutes, or even 10 minutes when you just start, because the earlier you will jump in, the most likely customer will see your message. Because again, based on the niche, but in my niche, it's really rare when I can see projects getting like 20 and up to 50 proposals in a few hours. But for some competitive niches, it's pretty easy that in 1 hour client can get like 50 proposals. How then in a hell you should separate yourself from the other 50 people if you send your proposals the last one? It can happen that customer can still see you, but usually, they are not doing that. And when I am receiving 50 proposals, just searching for the top rated, and that's it. But when you just started, you are not top rated, you're probably even not raising star. So then, first of all, you need to be one of the first ones. So customer anyway will check you. Doesn't matter you top rated or not. And the second is your proposal. As I told in the beginning, I would not try to make it about you. I would try to make it about customer. So if the customer project description says that I need help creating a UI design for my app, I would not start my proposal with, hey, my name is Vlad. I am a designer with 100+ year of experience working in the different niches and so on. What I would do, I would start from, hey, Tom, I see that you need help to creating a UI design for your app. And I already did a similar project for XYZ. Here you can see an example of the project that most likely to be similar to yours or whatever. And what I would also try to do is I would try to record a video to be more, to be more personal, to create more personalized proposal, because as I said, do not copy paste. It's not going to work. You will just lose your points on Upwork. And 7 years ago, it wasn't that really hard. You had lots of them, so you could spam as many as you want. Right now, if I had a talk with my friend who wanted to become a freelancer, and yesterday I realized that you have 10 free points on a free Upwork account to send your proposal. So you probably can send like up to 10 proposals a month if you are on a free Upwork account.
Wait a second. So you're saying like if you have a new account or a free account?
No, free account.
Okay. All right. So they're basically not giving you enough points.
Yeah, enough connections. So you have 10 connections. On the paid account, you have 80 connections.
Yeah.
And then that's it. Then you have to pay to find clients. I mean, for someone who, I would say, like, for someone who had a decent income on a regular job, it's not a big deal to pay $15 for the monthly subscription and probably another $30 to get extra 100 connections, and then find a customer that will pay you 3,000 and you will cover all of these expenses. But probably for some people that in their expertise is a bit in a different niche, not that highly paid, it could be a problem. And for me it was when I just started. So yeah, just don't copy paste. Try to be really personalized in your proposal, and never try to close client from your proposal. Like, the main goal for the proposal is to get a reply. So everything that you have to do in the proposal is just to make customer reply. Doesn't matter what. I'm trying to finish my proposals with the questions every time. Like, or it's like, do you have 10 minutes to talk right now? Or it's a question about the project, or it can be anything, but it's a question, because I want the client to answer me. Because as soon as he's answering me like, hey, no, I don't have 10 minutes right now, then you can start a conversation. Okay, you don't have 10 minutes right now. What about tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern European time? That sounds good. Schedule a meeting. Have a call, close the client. Easy peasy. So
absolutely,
yeah, the proposal should be focused on just to get a reply. And then when you start a chat with the client, then you can talk a bit more about yourself and talk more about what actually you can do.
Yeah.
I think
and really, like, if the person replied to you, right, it already means that they have a certain amount of confidence that you can do the work.
You triggered.
Right, you triggered something. Yeah. Right, some of the things that you had on your profile were good enough that they decided to hire you. Maybe you had an expert rated badge, maybe you were new but had a very well written proposal or tagline, or maybe focusing on a specific niche, right? Like the little tagline that says that, hey, you know, I'm an expert in this. Because I have hired people who don't have any reviews, but they're like seem very very focused on a niche. It's like, okay, yo, out of 50 people, this guy is new but he's very focused, you know, I'm pretty sure like I need an expert and I'm gonna hire that guy. But yeah, you know, as you said, like getting a reply is important, and I love it. That's
Yeah, and probably customer is in a real rush and he wants to do some really fast project. And I had an experience in my career when customer was looking for some real quick help, and I was replying like in the first 30 minutes. So I was triggering client. He was replying to me. We are jumping on the call straight away, like in 5 minutes after my proposal. We having like 15 minutes call. Client hired me on Upwork. We did a fixed price for whatever amount of money that took me like 5 hours of work. So I finished this project the same day, and then client get back to me and say, hey, it looks really cool. I like working with you. I have a project for $10,000 for you, let's say. And that's how you can maintain clients, because this is another thing is you need to try to maintain clients and try to reconvert them again and again. So I'm always trying to collect personal information of the client and doing some kind of like a CRM management.
Mm-hmm.
So every time, even if like over project finished, you got a great review and feedback, client doing something on his own, you are not required anymore for the project or for the team, keep the email address and just try to stay in touch with your past clients, like send them an email once per 2 months or whatever. Or when you're struggling to, when you need to get a project, what I would do is I would not try to jump in and start looking for something new on Upwork. First of all, what I would do is I would just send a blast email to my database of past clients saying that, hey, I have a free time. Probably you have, if you have anything that you want me to help with, just let me know and I will help. And sometimes it works because I did it several times and some clients was replying to me, yeah, actually I need some help with email marketing right now. Let's work again.
Yeah, because you already put in the effort, right? You work with those
Yeah,
people
you already
together.
know each other, know that you're good. They was happy with the result. You happy with this client because you know I had like some people have lots of bad customers. I'm a bit lucky. I think in my whole career I had probably 5 is the maximum. From hundreds, probably 5 customers was just the jerks.
And it happens.
Yeah, shit happens. Good thing that I was paid for those projects, but working with them was pain in the ass.
Hmm.
They was too, they put so much stress, and this completely unacceptable for me as a person and as a freelancer. So I also have a blacklist. So if I'm trying to contact past clients, I definitely want to avoid some of them. I one time actually I did a job, client was happy, and then he disappeared, didn't pay me a second part of the milestone, and we was working directly with not on Upwork, and and then in 2 weeks or in 3 weeks, he wrote the message to Visa to charge back the milestone one because he closed the business and the work that I did was not necessary anymore. And he messaged me that, actually everything that you did is a bullshit. I don't need it anymore.
Wow.
I requested the charge back.
Wow.
Pioneer blocked the money on the card, and I had to prove that that was really, really nice. Like the worst experience I have ever had. I, luckily for me, and now every time I have feeling that the customer is actually a bit, not that good quality, I'm doing the screenshots of the messages that he likes the job. Like every review, I'm trying to get a proof that he like it or dislike it, whatever. And because this helped me to, to actually push Visa to relock my money and said to the client that, sorry, man, but you said that you was happy with what was done and we are not going to charge you back.
Right.
It
Yeah.
took probably 3 months. It's banks. They always like it. If they would be, some dedicated person, it would probably take like maybe 1 or 2 weeks to do that. But the review process took like probably two months. I sent tons of screenshots where he on Slack and in Skype was saying that everything is cool, everything is great, and I also proved that the work is still there and so on. So yeah, so another, like, this leads me to the recommendation to look only for the good client. If you're on the call, if you're lucky to have a good level of English and you're on a call, you have a feeling that the conversation, like, client wants to work with you, probably the project is clear, but the conversation isn't that good. Like, I personally feel that. Maybe it's just my skill inside of me, but I feel when I'm talking to the client, I feel that something's wrong with this person. I mean, he's good. I don't have anything to complain, but something's wrong. And sometimes when I was ignoring this feeling and starting working with those clients, some shit happened. Like, they they did like lots of micromanagement, which I hate, or they, was changing their minds a lot of times, which I hate, or, a lot of things. But yeah, like, recommendations, only work with the client that you actually like. If you like how the person is communicating with you, that's a huge, huge sign that, this project probably will end good for you if you're a good expert.
Yeah, and that's a benefit of doing the calls, right? So really, like, it's not the interview where people are interviewing you. If you're doing this correctly, it's more of a discovery session of you understanding first whether whatever they wrote on the initial job post is true or not, and
Yeah.
second, whether the person you're talking to feels like a good client, right? And if you do these things correctly, as you said, you can sense that, right? Every people can,
Yeah.
like, it's just like how we are, right? And you can definitely evaluate that whether you want to work with that person or not.
Yeah, I again have an interesting story about this. But I was on the other side. I was on the side of the client, so I was looking for the copywriter because my job really close to the copywriting. I can't write the content. Yeah, grammar isn't that great, but Grammarly can help. But it will take me lots of time. So I like to work with copywriters, and I was hiring a copywriter. And obviously, I was looking for a native speaker. And a few girls replied to me from United States, from UK, from New Zealand, and I was having a conversation, text only. When I see that this person wants to have a call, I'm trying to schedule a call. So I schedule a call with all three of them. Two of them show up, and we had a great conversation. And then I was trying to book a call with the third one. First of all, she wasn't that okay, like, oh, I don't have time today, probably tomorrow, and then tomorrow, oh, maybe a bit late. But anyway, I pushed her to the call. And when we got on the call, there was a man. And this man wasn't a native speaker.
Oh wow.
It was somebody from India, I think,
Mm,
because I was barely understanding what he was talking about.
wow.
So this is, yeah, like, he was looking for a native speaker. You are chatting with the girl who's from United States, And when you're trying to get on a call, you're chatting already with the man from from I'm not saying that Indians are bad people. I'm just saying that it's,
Yeah.
the level of English was terrible. Like I barely understood what he was talking about. This was really fun situation because anyone would probably just, cancel the call and just move on. But I was in a good mood and I was trying actually to had a conversation
Having a little
about
fun,
the
yeah?
position. Yeah, I was trying to ignore the fact that he has a girlfriend avatar in United States location.
Who
I
knows,
didn't
man?
mention anything from that. I was trying to, yeah, I was keeping conversation as I'm speaking with the girl from United States, just for fun. It was really fun, but shit happens even with this thing. Like the call, like you need, if your English level is not that great, and my English was really terrible. Like I was understanding people, but it was really hard for me to explain what I want to say and
What did you
express
do?
myself.
What did you do?
I was talking.
Yeah.
Yes, badly.
Okay.
Yes, with mistakes. Yes, it was not that good. I didn't learn English when I quit the job. Like I didn't read some, teaching books.
Hmm.
I didn't hire somebody to teach me. My grammar is still bad, but Grammarly helps me. But my communication English become better and better. Every call with the client becomes better and better because basically you all, especially at the beginning, you all the time talking almost about the same thing, about your expertise, your niche, all the words from your niche, and you're talking, and then when it hits some level like intermediate or upper intermediate, you can realize that you actually can have some informal conversations as well. And it took me 6 years, even more, but again, my English even now not that great. However,
I
I
think it's great.
can be confident that I can explain what I'm thinking about and what I want to say, and everyone will understand what I say. I still doing mistakes, but as long as you can easily explain yourself and easily communicate, that's a huge plus. And when you will prove it to the Upwork, because Upwork support will try to make a call with you to understand if you're actually fluent, because if you have clicked that I'm fluent, they want to check this. When you're fluent, it will open even, it will open a big door for you for more serious clients.
Absolutely.
Because closing projects just chatting or texting is a really tricky process, I would say.
I
First
agree
of
with that.
all,
Yeah.
yeah, because you can get in a lot of troubles. Again, you by text you probably can't identify a bad customer, and especially at the beginning when every 5-star review makes a lot of value for
Hmm.
you. If you will get 2 or 3 stars, or let's say 2 stars reviews, that will ruin your profile, and it will will be really hard to get rid of this um, that situation.
Yeah, yeah, and like especially for people in industries where you're charging $500 and more, like 500 and upwards is considered in sales world high ticket product, right? Or high
Mm,
ticket service. So like in order to sell high ticket services, if you want someone to hand you $500, right? Hey, lad, take it. You surely want to talk with that person first, right?
yes.
It's just like if we can at least jump on a very quick call to reassure that hey, I'm the real person. I'm confident, and I'll make you confident that you can do work. You're more likely to give me those $500, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really transparent on our call. When we just say hello to each other, I was transparent that, hey, my English is not that great. So I would probably could re-ask you some things, or if you can talk to me more simple language, that would great. Because if somebody would say to me hilarious, by then I would say, what is that? Like, so I was really transparent. I was asking clients to talk more, simple language to me. They was, yeah, they understood.
Mm-hmm.
And I was also transparent that yes, like my conversational English is not that great, but as you can, already understand, my, writing English is good, so we can have it. So I was trying to tell to the clients that there will be no issues, because nobody wants to have an issues when you want, to have a project.
Yeah.
And the language issue is still an issue, but if you can prove to the client that it's not going to be an issue, that you will understand, you can even close the higher ticket customers easily, because you actually don't have to have lots of calls with the client. Like, they also don't want to have like 1 hour call with you, because they
Nobody
have
wants.
other a lot of things to do. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just probably one call to close, to close the project, one onboarding call if required, and then one call when you are closing the project and you want to report. That's
Yeah.
it. Like,
Yeah. Absolutely. And
then
like,
everything else can be handled by just texting.
yeah, absolutely. And look, and just to like encourage people listening and might think, oh, my English is bad, and like they're, ones that are trying to close on a chat, as you said, just get on that 5 minute call, reassure, and like make that person or the client on that other end feel confident, even though you don't know the English perfect, you're messing up the words, but you're confident to get on a call because you're an expert, right? And that confidence
Yep.
shines through, right? Like, okay, so I understand, like, this guy is not from, English speaking country, but he's still confident enough in the work that he does that he's willing to jump on a call, and try to convince me that he knows how to get the job
Yeah.
done.
I mean,
So
if the client is not looking for a native speaker copywriter,
yeah,
you don't have to speak, fluent English.
absolutely.
And just from my experience, I started when clients was reacting. Like, I was telling every time that my English not that great, and for the first probably 1 year, the reaction was no problem, no problem. And one time you will realize that client will say, yeah, actually your English is pretty good, so no worries about that.
Yeah.
And then you'll stop actually notifying your customers that your English is not that great, because I was doing this every time, and then one or two of them, in a row said, man, like, your English is pretty normal, I can easily understand you, you're understanding me, not a big deal, don't worry. And then I just stopped putting attention on my English, and
Mm-hmm.
nobody complained anymore about the English level. Nobody.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
See, everything took time. Like, you can't do things like just by the snap of the finger. So everything
Absolutely.
comes with experience, time. Yeah. Again, if I achieve this level with zero learning, like, I spent more time on learning some professional things, but I didn't learn English. Like, honestly, I didn't learn anything. I didn't pass any courses. As I said, no repetition, nothing. Just was communicating with native speaker, and that's brings me where I am right now.
Yeah, and like being
Because
problem
this is a
solver,
big
right?
deal. Yeah, this is a big deal. I have, a few friends that want to start, and the language barrier for them is a scary thing.
Mm,
Oh,
for a
like,
lot of
they're
people.
really expert in what they're doing. Yeah, but the real things that they're scary about is the language. Like, what
Yeah.
what I should do if the clients will call me, like, and I will have to talk to him.
Mm,
There, and especially when you're just starting, it's a stress. Probably if your English is more or less okay, but when you have your first call, it's like, I'm not sure if it's like a first driving lesson when you're trying to drive, when lots of cars surrounding you. So yeah, but that's like, from all complaints that I've heard, this is one of, I think one of the first ones that I don't think that my English level will allow me to close customers or to talk to them properly.
yeah, and I think this is the confidence that you were talking about. This is just like being confident that really the person that is about to hire you, he's not hiring you because of your English level. He's hiring you as an expert to get the job done, right? And the person
Yeah.
already knows, like, if you're not looking for a native speaker, as you said, right, but just need an expert, like, I don't give two damns about whether you are fluent or not fluent. All I care about is, can
Yeah.
you do the work? And that's all it is. And the fact that I'm willing to talk with you means that I already see a value in your work. So that's definitely reassuring for a lot of people. But this, it is a big gap, as you said. It's super scary, man. I remember I was so scared for a long time, man. I was like shaking. I was shaking for the
Yeah.
first calls. I thought, like, and you know, like the Upwork, it has this like the frame or the framing like interviews. And when
Hmm.
someone's thinking about the interviews, like, oh shit, like, you know, there's gonna be people that are gonna ask me all these questions and interviewing me, and I'm gonna be sitting down and answering all the questions, and like, I'm not gonna know what to say, right? But like,
Yeah.
if you think about it, dude, I'm an expert. I know my stuff. I can help you. You are on the call with me because you need my help, and I can help you, right? And make it more of a, like a discovery call. But it took me a long time to realize that.
Yeah.
And as you said,
But
everything's in making. Nothing happens like that. Repetition. It's just doing things,
yeah,
right?
10, 20 calls and you will feel more confident.
Absolutely, absolutely. 20 calls, exactly. That's all you need. And you will realize, oh man, all these calls are the same. Same question, same everything. And
Same
I,
question. Same everything.
yeah. And at one point I was
And it's
like,
actually bad. I'm always trying to, to push it in a more unique way. Like I'm worried to do the same thing over and over again. So
right,
when somebody's asking me how many years of experience do you have, first of all, this is a sign for me that probably customer is not a good fit for me.
there you go, right?
Yeah, because when client is asking, some not standard questions, that means that he's actually clever than you think. And I like to work with clever people.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I also, paying attention for the questions that customers asking me. Why you should care how many years of experience do I have? Like, is it I can spend 10 years on something and be not an expert, and I can spend,
Exactly.
3 years and be a better expert that person that spent 10 years.
Yeah, absolutely. That is true. I mean, this has been a beautiful conversation, man. I enjoyed it a
Yeah,
lot.
that's true.
A lot of things to
Yeah,
learn
yeah.
from you, for sure. I love your perspective and approach to freelancing. It's refreshing, and I hope that people listening to this episode got a huge value out of it. Um,
Yeah, hope
do you
so.
have anything to share, like any personal projects or anyone maybe looking for an email guy? Where can anyone find you?
uh I can share probably Upwork link
Okay,
if
I
you'll
can
be
put that
willing
in the
to
show
put,
notes.
yeah, in the description. That probably be the best case or the best way to contact me.
Yeah,
um yeah, I think that's it. I don't want to give my email because
don't need to.
it's
Don't
just
need to.
yeah,
Upwork
doesn't
profile
need
is just
to.
fine. I'm gonna put it in the show notes, guys. So like if you,
Yeah, if somebody wants to have a project,
yeah,
Upwork is a good
if
place
someone
to
has any
contact me.
referrals, Upwork, perfect.
Yeah, because I obviously don't have time to teach people how to do freelancing, like, personally. It's just taking a lot of time.
Absolutely.
So, and after one of podcast, I got like 10 or 15 emails from people who actually need help, and I had to reply to all of them with my sorry and apologize.
Yeah, it just gets to show you that a lot of people are in need when it comes down to,
And
succeeding
I
on
hope
Upwork.
that, this podcast at least will be like a kickoff uh to for them, because we covered pretty much everything that beginner just need to know. And not just beginner, we also covered the middle level things and even the top level things. So I think this podcast might be useful for any kind of
Yeah.
level of every freelancer.
Absolutely, man. I think it was very interesting. It was definitely a journey, right? And there's like a different little nuggets that a lot of freelancers can grab, right? If you're an entry level, you can hear this and that, and I loved it. You have such a vast experience in
Yeah,
Upwork.
sharing is caring. Was really happy to share not everything, but some important things that I learned. Definitely, this learned things wasn't that easy to gain. Definitely was mistakes. Definitely was hard times. And I hope that this podcast will help for some of you who are listening right now to avoid some things, uh, gain experience and success faster, move faster, um, and yeah, avoid mistakes, because we are learning on mistakes. And yeah, maybe the last advice is don't be scary to do mistakes, because this is life. This just happens, and I would like my my suggestion is to be successful. But if mistakes happened, just admit it, learn it, and don't repeat it.
All right, Vlad. Awesome. I appreciate your time and I appreciate you saving,
No problem.
helping and sharing your insights and journey on Upwork. And yeah, you have a good one, and I'll catch you later.